The French government has actually deployed 15,000 police officers to try and keep the access to the two major airports around Paris, and also to Rungis, which is the wholesale food market where all the French restaurants and shops actually get their food supplies for the French capital. In fact, this morning you have about 5 major motorways around Paris still blocked by farmers, and also 200 tractors are actually on their way to this wholesale market. They've been blocked once by the police, and now they're trying to exit the motorway to still block this very symbolic place where they say that imported food actually causes them to lose revenue, because this imported food doesn't have the same environmental regulations as they have in France. So as many as 10,000 French farmers are currently protesting across the country over the weekend in the countryside. I saw hundreds of them at some roundabouts and on motorways between big cities. Some of them had signs saying they earn as little as 400 euros a month for a 70-hour work week. So, of course, they are very angry about the situation, about the increase in cost, about the competition from foreign agricultural products, including those coming from Ukraine. So the situation might continue. Demonstrations, of course, are also growing across the continent. You saw Germany. Now you also have the French farmers, and yesterday also Belgium started joining these massive farmers' demonstrations.
Well, talk to us about what the government response actually looks like.
In fact, this afternoon, the new 34-year-old Prime Minister Gabriel Attal, who was named just 2 weeks ago, is supposed to do his general policy speech in front of the French Parliament. This was supposed to be his big moment to talk about tech, to talk about education, to talk about the French economic rearmament, which is what Macron said during his New Year's speech. But of course, all this is going to be totally overshadowed by the farmers' protest. We expect some new measures to come later this afternoon. Already Gabriel Attal announced some measures last Friday, including the end of the phasing out of these diesel tax hikes for these tractors and those machinery, but that's insufficient for some of the unions who want also a minimum price guaranteed for their products, and who also want to renegotiate some trade agreements. And in fact, we had a story coming out today saying the President Emmanuel Macron will put pressure on Thursday in Brussels to try and block the Mercosur trade agreement with South America.